All right, so I want to give an update on the Glock 23X 40 caliber. So my department issue weapon was a Glock 23 3rd gen. The only complaint I had about it was the grip was too short. My large hand would come past the bottom of the grip. I just didn't feel like I had great control over it. Didn't affect accuracy all too much, but I did feel uncomfortable with it. So I went ahead and went to Rockslide USA, got some of their conversion parts for it, and this is pretty much just a side project. Coming from a Glock 23, wanting to see if a Glock 23X would be proper. Something that's just like a really cool firearm idea for me. But this, I think, originally when I first got it, I'll put up a picture of before I ruined it with a 3-year-old stippling job. I do enjoy a really aggressive grip. This fits the bill. It does look horrible, but and just try to find the overall best grip for me personally. I wanted it to be aggressive, wanted something that grip to start out with, but it's their Glock GSX lower parts kit that was in this as well. This is again a project of mine. I'm trying to see what works, what doesn't. Overall, I would love to do another one of these with some knowledge and know-how of what I do know now. I did upgrade for the metal trigger. And I have a few more bits that are slightly upgraded with. Got some night sights for it. I've had some issues with trigger pull, trigger reset. You can see I absolutely butchered the back of this thing because I didn't know what I was doing before I looked it up on YouTube. And there's been a few things too that, as far as fitment wise, I'm not terribly happy with. There being a ton of slack, but I did shoot this first day I slung it together. I was able to put about 100 rounds through it, and I've gotten probably about 200 rounds through it so far, but the more I've shot it, the more it's gotten smoother, and it's starting to break in. The parts are breaking into each other. I did speak with someone at Glock store about some of the issues I was having, and they pretty much mentioned that I've got a Frankenstein of a pistol. Other than the top slide, this top slide did not come from Glock store. The lower is not from Rockslide USA, of course, but I've not seen anyone buy aftermarket manufactured parts and put these together. Initially, seeing the Glock 19X in 9mm, I own quite a few 9mm guns, 380. I did have a 45, but this is back down to my only 40 caliber that I own. So I wanted something that I can test. I did choose Rockslide USA. I do like this groove here. The serrations are decently aggressive. And that's why I spent about $450 to put this all together to see if it would be something worthwhile. Figured if I'm going to be paying a little bit more, maybe it would be beneficial to go ahead and get new parts that have never been in a gun before. And plus, Palmetto State Armory, I do like to purchase things off their website, and they have not been in stock with the Glock 23 LE used. So now they are back in stock.
Up with my ex-girl. Here's a number. Psych! That's the wrong number!
That's exciting. This is 2 total different companies' retention for their parts. Rockslide USA, this is the trigger assembly for it. Also the mag release, which I've had some issues with. That was the first thing I noticed whenever I put the mag release into this GSX grip, was it had some issues. One, going in, even after using the correct tools, and the YouTube videos, but it doesn't feel like it's unsafe to shoot. It just feels unreliable. And if I want this to be something I want to keep around and shoot and test, I want to show some smooth operation and have less malfunctions than a lot of my other pistols do. The original videos, again, were absolutely horrid.
Oh no!
I wouldn't get but maybe a shot or two in, and this thing would jam up, or it would fail to feed, or it would stovepipe, but mostly failure to feed from the magazine. So I've tried those issues. I've been on the phone with some people. They've told me some things I could do, some different things I could try, and I've done those. And the failure to feed still seems to be a persistent issue. It's almost like it's getting a little bit better, but I'm not sure if you guys would either want to see a time-lapse video of me putting the parts together with that new process or not. Even any hate mail is obviously just any kind of feedback, likes and dislikes. So let me try to get that trigger reset for you on camera. I have the trigger pressed. Right there. Very long reset. Again, I can't tell any difference between where it is. Maybe you guys can see a little bit better view than I can. Where it is before the reset and after. I feel like it's on pretty much the same spot. Actually, I think it is the same spot.
Here he is, and here we are, and there that is.
This is with the slide lock back. Looks like your typical Glock. And to be able to learn, you can sit there and watch people on YouTube all day long, but sometimes you actually get your hands dirty and touch grass every once in a while. So here is the metal trigger. I've had some issues, again, with the trigger when I first started out. It got to where the trigger pull would be impossible to break. I spoke with a Glock representative about the housing and the trigger and to see what their thought process was and how to adjust that properly as far as it not being able to break. So it's got a little bit of mush, still has a little creak to it, but as soon as you hit the wall, nice clean break.